Namaste. Hamisha Kushro with you. Myself, Dr. Gaurav Gupta, Assistant Professor, Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, Faculty of Homeopathic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss asphyxiant poisons. These poisons are categorized as asphyxiant, or these poison produces the condition of asphyxia. Basically, these are classified in five groups: irritant asphyxiants, where they affect respiratory tract, producing inflammation, for example, smoke, tear gas, ammonia. Second is chemical asphyxiants. They react with body tissue and affects the supply of oxygen, such as carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, cyanide. Third one are simple asphyxiants. These are inert gases which inhaled in high concentration act mechanically to remove oxygen, such as nitrogen, helium, methane. Fourth one is volatile asphyxiants. These doesn't affect respiratory system, but when absorbed in blood, they produces toxic effects such as aromatic hydrocarbons, halogenated hydrocarbons, and systemic asphyxiants. These poison produces systemic effects such as insecticides, arsine, etc. Now, the most common type of asphyxiant is carbon monoxide. It is produced due to incomplete combustion of carbon. It is colorless, tasteless, a non-irritant gas. It is insoluble in water and burns with a blue flame, and it is lighter in compared to air. 50% of carboxyhemoglobin produces symptoms like alcoholic intoxication. 50 to 60% produces syncope or coma with intermittent convulsions. Exposure of atmosphere containing 0.2% of carbon monoxide will cause death in about 4 hours. Atmosphere having 0.4% of concentration causes death in 1 hour and 10% in 20 to 30 minutes. Symptoms of the carbon monoxide poisoning depends on the concentration level of carboxyhemoglobin in blood. So if it is 0 to 10%, there is no appreciable symptoms. When it is 10 to 20%, there is breathlessness on moderate exertion with mild headache. On 20 to 30%, throbbing headache, irritability, emotional instability, disturbed judgment, altered memory, and rapid fatigue. On 30 to 40% of concentration, it produces severe headache, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, dimness of vision, confusion. On 40 to 50%, it produces confusion, hallucination, severe ataxia, tachypnea, and collapse with attempted exertion. On 50 to 60% concentration, there is syncope or coma with intermittent convulsions, tachypnea, tachycardia with feeble pulse, pink or red discoloration of the skin. On 60 to 70%, there is increasing depth of coma with incontinence of urine and feces. 70 to 80% of concentration level causes deep coma with depression or absence of reflexes. Feeble pulse become feeble and thready, and above 80% there is rapid death from the respiratory arrest. So the treatment includes attempt to protect airway. First of all, victim should be removed from the source of exposure to open environment. Airway of the patient should be maintained. Fresh air and orthobaric oxygen by tight fitting high flow reservoir, face mask or endotracheal tube. The immediate effect of oxygen is enhancement of the dissociation of carboxyhemoglobin, and it should be continued till the concentration level reduces to 15 to 20%. Hyperbaric oxygen is contraindicated as it produces adverse effects. Blood transfusion can be done if required. Gastric lavage to prevent aspiration pneumonia. Cerebral edema is treated with mannitol, followed by dextrose. Hypotension is initially treated with IV fluids, followed by inotropic agents. Standard ACLS protocols are followed to treat dysarrhythmias. Antibiotics and symptomatic treatment is useful. On postmortem, there is a cherry red discoloration of the skin and mucous membrane. Froth may be seen at mouth and nose. Bilateral symmetrical necrosis of the lenticular nuclei and punctiform hemorrhage in the white matter of brain is seen. Blister may be seen on dependent parts. There is congestion of lungs. Medico-legally, it is a very common mode of suicidal poisoning in the West, where motor vehicle exhaust is inhaled, but it is very rare in India. Commonly in India, there are accidental cases which results from cooking gas leakage or incomplete combustion of wood, charcoal, or coal in ill-ventilated rooms. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.